Hi, this is Isabelle Litzler, the place to be to develop your skills and grow your potential. So today I will share with you the 10 most in-demand jobs that you will see in the upcoming decade. So if you're studying right now, you're wondering what kind of career to look at, I think this video will be very helpful. If you have a job but you can't find anything, maybe also it's interesting to understand the market a little bit. So without further ado, let's get started about the 10 positions. So number one, without much surprise there, software engineers and developers. So if you're part of this category, you're already one step ahead because you're in high demand in any country. I would say right now they're needed everywhere. I've had clients who could negotiate their salaries. They can even get better offers. So it's really the job that's in demand, the software engineer and the developer. Also doing coding for people who are more familiar with coding. So yeah, and it's quite easy to understand. I mean, all companies now are getting on digital, and they're building all their infrastructure on digital. So they need people to help them with that. That's why those two positions are actually needed. So software engineers and developers. Number two, data scientists. So I've talked about data scientists in a previous video that I will link at the end, where I explain what kind of studies that you need to do and how to get into these positions and what it entails exactly, but it's quite in demand as well. There are people who analyze, interpret data, so they are data scientists. Number three, mechanical engineers. So mechanical engineers, in my view, are also in demand, but not so much in Switzerland. So I try to add the flavor of Switzerland in this video. So number one and two, data scientists, software engineers, they're needed everywhere, including Switzerland. The mechanical engineers tend to do less well in Switzerland because they would be a better fit for the industry. And in Switzerland, we have more of a service-oriented type of economy. So we're more of a service-based, finance and insurance and all these things. Whereas the mechanical engineer would be more suited for the auto parts and all these things, or where you have a lot of energy going on, maybe gas, oil, and all that stuff. So you're not going to find in Switzerland so much demand, but you may be lucky and find a few things here and there. Number four, nurse practitioners. Those are going to be wanted also everywhere, especially at this stage. So anything medical related is in demand. Number five, financial advisors. And also trying to link that up with Switzerland. There's always a need for people who are highly skilled in that domain. I think people will be also in demand right now in how can they protect their assets, because the market is so fluctuating. They will be a bit confused on where to invest and so forth. So if you're a good financial advisor, you can definitely work for either a consulting firm, or you can work for a bank, or you could work even for your own. So financial advisement. Number six, doctors and other health-related jobs. So doctors are also wanted everywhere. Again, it's a no-brainer that nurses and doctors are in demand in the middle of an epidemic. So no-brainer there. You can always find a job. Number seven, occupational therapists. So because people are going to be also maybe going through the change right now, and going maybe through some psychological trauma, post-stress disorder, and all these things. So you will need people that cater and can help, especially within companies, that can help this change, especially on the emotional level and everything. So you can have a good chance to find a job there. Number eight, home health aide. So that's for the aging population. So if you're thinking about where are the support to the person type of jobs, definitely in aging. The aging group will need a lot of care. So people work basically in the domain of dealing with mental illnesses for the old people, or medical care for the elderly, etc. You can find opportunities there. And number nine, physiotherapists. So they're also going to be needed. So if you do this as a job right now and you want to see, if there's opportunities in Europe, yes, they will be in demand. And finally, I would say this is a little bit less of the people maybe watching these videos, but anything that's linked to the trades, what we call the trades. So it's plumbing, electricity, It could be also building, apartments or renovation and all these things. They're needed. And even in Switzerland, they're also there's demand for that. I mean, it's part of the things that, I've made videos a few months ago where I talked about what are the things that you can't live without. I mean, obviously you need a roof over your head. So people who work in real estate or in taking care of apartments or building the apartments, all these positions will always be available, and people taking care of your health. So the basics, food, health, shelter, that's what you need for sure. So if you work in any of these industries, you're always going to have a job no matter what. So I think I call that a non-brainer, that if you're looking for job security and, being sure that there will always be something for you, food, health, and shelter. So anything around building apartments or plumbing, electricity, again, this is all satellite jobs of shelter. So key tips I want to leave you with on this video is that for some jobs, noticing with the 10 most in demand, there's not necessarily a need for high education. I mean, the trades, once you know how to be an electrician or a plumber, it's no brainer, you can work. And they're going to be in demand. Also, some of these therapist type of jobs don't necessarily require a lot of studies. So don't necessarily think that to be employable, you need to have specific high level skills. You just need the right skills, which is a little bit different. The second insider tip is that we are going to have, and we already have, an aging population. So that's going to create some work opportunities as well to care for the elderly in terms of medication, shelter for them, or housing for them that's particular to their needs, and also counseling and all these things. And number 3, of course, tech is definitely the in-demand job of the decade. And if you're wondering what's a high-paying field where I can work from anywhere that's going to provide me with some ongoing opportunities, this is also a non-brainer. So I hope this was helpful, and feel free to comment and post below, and I will talk to you soon.